Fear of failure often begins as a quiet voice in the back of your mind, warning you to stay safe, avoid risks, and protect yourself from disappointment. But over time, that voice can grow louder and more controlling until it starts shaping your decisions, limiting your actions, and keeping you from opportunities that could change your life in meaningful ways. Many people don't even realize how deeply this fear affects them because it disguises itself as practicality or caution, making it seem reasonable to avoid situations where success is not guaranteed. Yet this avoidance gradually builds a pattern of hesitation that weakens confidence and reinforces self-doubt. When you constantly hold back, you send a message to yourself that you are not capable, and that belief can become deeply rooted if it is not challenged. However, the truth is that failure is not the opposite of success. It is an essential part of the process that leads to growth, strength, and real confidence. Every successful person has experienced setbacks, mistakes, and moments of uncertainty. But what separates them is their willingness to move forward despite those experiences rather than being defined by them. Inspired by the mindset principles associated with Joseph Murphy, you can begin to understand that your thoughts play a powerful role in shaping your reality. And when you change the way you think about failure, you change the way you respond to it. Instead of viewing failure as something to fear, you can start to see it as feedback, as a lesson, and as a necessary step toward improvement. This shift in perspective allows you to detach your self-worth from the outcome of any single attempt and instead focus on the effort, the learning, and the progress you are making along the way. When you adopt this approach, you become more willing to take action, even when the outcome is uncertain, because you understand that every step forward, whether it leads to immediate success or not, is contributing to your overall growth. Confidence is not built by avoiding failure. It is built by facing challenges, learning from them, and continuing to move forward with greater awareness and determination. As you begin to practice this mindset, you may notice that the fear does not disappear instantly, but it loses its power over time as you prove to yourself that you can handle setbacks and keep going. This is how resilience is developed. And resilience is the foundation of lasting confidence that is not easily shaken by temporary difficulties or unexpected outcomes. As you begin to move beyond the fear of failure, you start to recognize that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. And this realization can be incredibly freeing because it shifts your focus away from trying to eliminate discomfort and instead places your energy on building the strength to move forward regardless of how you feel in the moment. At first, taking action may feel uncomfortable, even overwhelming, because your mind is still conditioned to avoid situations where the outcome is uncertain. But with consistent effort, you can retrain your thinking patterns and create a new internal response that supports growth instead of resistance. One effective way to do this is by intentionally placing yourself in small, manageable situations where there's a possibility of failure, allowing yourself to experience it without judgment and to observe what actually happens, rather than what you fear might happen. In most cases, you will find that the consequences are far less severe than your imagination suggested, and this direct experience begins to weaken the grip of fear over your decisions. Over time, these small acts of courage accumulate, gradually building a sense of trust in your own ability to handle challenges, recover from setbacks, and adapt to changing circumstances. Inspired by the ideas associated with Joseph Murphy, you can also begin to understand the importance of repetition and belief in shaping your subconscious mind, which plays a key role in determining your automatic reactions and habits. By consistently affirming that failure is a natural and valuable part of your journey, you begin to replace old patterns of fear with new patterns of confidence and resilience. And this transformation does not happen overnight, but through steady, intentional practice. It is important to remember that progress is rarely linear, and there will be moments when doubt resurfaces or when experience feels more difficult than expected. But these moments are not signs of weakness. They are opportunities to reinforce the mindset you are developing. Each time you choose to keep going instead of giving up, you strengthen your mental resilience and deepen your confidence in ways that cannot be achieved through comfort alone. As your perspective continues to evolve, You may also notice a shift in how you view other people's success, no longer comparing yourself or feeling discouraged, but instead feeling inspired and motivated, recognizing that their achievements are built on the same principles of persistence and learning through failure. This understanding creates a more positive and empowering outlook, where challenges are no longer threats, but invitations to grow, expand your abilities, and move closer to your goals with a stronger sense of purpose and self-belief. As your confidence continues to grow through repeated action and reflection, you begin to develop a deeper sense of self-awareness that allows you to respond to challenges with greater clarity and intention rather than reacting out of fear or hesitation. And this shift marks a powerful turning point in your personal development because it means you are no longer controlled by the automatic patterns that once held you back. Instead, you start making decisions based on your values, your goals, and your belief in what is possible, even when uncertainty is still present. This does not mean that obstacles suddenly disappear or that every effort leads to immediate success. But it does mean that you approach each situation with a mindset that is focused on growth rather than avoidance, which significantly changes your experience and your results over time. When you encounter setbacks, you are more likely to pause, reflect, and extract meaningful lessons instead of allowing frustration or self-doubt to take over. And this ability to learn from experience becomes one of your greatest strengths because it ensures that every challenge contributes to your progress rather than stopping it. The teachings associated with Joseph Murphy emphasize the idea that your subconscious mind responds to the thoughts and beliefs you consistently reinforce. And as you continue to practice viewing failure as a stepping stone rather than a stopping point, you begin to internalize this belief at a deeper level, making it a natural part of how you think and act. This internal shift leads to greater consistency in your efforts because you're no longer relying on temporary motivation or external validation to keep going. Instead, you're driven by a steady sense of purpose and confidence that comes from within. As a result, you become more willing to take on meaningful challenges, pursue opportunities that once seemed out of reach, and step outside of your comfort zone in ways that expand your potential. You may also notice that your relationship with fear itself begins to change, as it no longer feels like something that must be avoided at all costs, but rather something that can coexist with your actions without controlling them. This perspective allows you to move forward with a sense of calm determination, knowing that even if things do not go as planned, you have the ability to adapt, learn, and continue progressing. Over time, this approach creates a strong foundation of resilience that supports you in all areas of your life, from personal goals to professional ambitions, and it reinforces the understanding that confidence is not something you are born with, but something you build through consistent effort, self-reflection, and the willingness to keep moving forward despite uncertainty.